All right, just wanted to make a quick practice problem video here. Just wanted to go through some of these questions so you know what to expect. I'm going to start with number 2 here. So how you want to look at this is one of the variables are solved for. We have y is equal to 2x plus 15 is equal to this whole thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug it into the top equation in for this y here. All right, so what I'm going to do is rewrite the top equation, 7x plus 2 times y, but I'm not going to write y. I'm going to write this expression that's equivalent to y. So this is where the x plus 15 goes. This is all equal to negative 14. And now I'm going to solve. So I'm going to distribute this 2 out. 2 times 2x is 4x. 2 times 15 is 30. And now after I've done some solving, I want to kind of update the problem. So I want to drop down everything I didn't use before. So the equal sign, the negative 14, 7x on the other side. Make sure you drop down that plus sign so you know that the 4x is positive. And now I want to combine like terms. Got 7x and 4x. So I have 11x. Again, we're going to update the problem. Drop everything down. And now I want to get the variable by itself. So I need to get rid of this 30. I'm going to do so by subtracting 30 on both sides. 11x is equal to, this is negative 14 minus 30, which is negative 44. I suggest you use your calculator with these just so you don't make any mistakes just with the signs. And now I want to get the coefficient in front of x equal to 1. So I will divide by whatever that coefficient is on both sides. And I'm left with x is equal to negative 4. So now you got to remember that the solution to a system of equation is the point at which these two lines intersect. Okay, so we're actually looking for an ordered pair, so an x and a y. So once we have one of the values, so I have x, I need to plug it back into one of the two equations, the original two equations, to figure out the other variable. So in this case, y. Now we say pick the easier of the two. I certainly think the bottom would be easier to solve. So I'm going to take that, 2 times x, but now I know x is negative 4 plus 15, and now I can just simplify this and I have y. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8, plus 15 is 7, so y is equal to 7. And you should always write your answer as an ordered pair. So this is going to be negative 4, 7, because this is your x and then your y. Okay, so this is the actual answer. All right, moving on. The next few are pretty much the same. 6 is very similar, but you'll get a bit of a weird answer. Just want to make sure that we know what we're doing with that. So again, we have y already solved for, so I'm going to take this expression, 3x plus 1, and plug it in for this y. So I'm going to take that whole bottom equation, and I'm just going to rewrite it. Negative 5x plus 2 times y, but I'm not going to write the y. I'm going to write the expression that y is equivalent to. And now I'm only dealing with x, so I can isolate it and solve. So start by distributing this 2. 2 times 3x is 6x. 2 times 1 is 2. Update the problem, drop everything else down. All right, again, combine like terms. Got negative 5x plus 6x, so this can be 1x plus 2 is equal to 2. And again, I want to get the x by itself, so I need to get rid of that positive 2. So I subtract 2 on both sides, and I'm left with x is equal to 0. All right, again, now that I have x is equal to 0, I want to plug that in for, you could do either of these x's, but I think it's definitely easier to use the top equation. So I'm going to take y is equal to 3 times x, which we now know is 0, plus 1. 3 times 0 is 0, plus 1 is 1, so y is equal to 1. So again, write this out as an ordered pair, 0, comma 1. There you go. All right, I think I'll do number 8 as well. Even though this one's a little bit easier, it might trick you up. So this one, we are already given one of our values, so y is just equal to -3. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that -3 and plug it into the bottom equation. So we have 6x plus 7 times -3 equals 15. And now I can go ahead and solve. Multiply this out. 7 times -3 is -21. Update the problem. All right, try to get the x by itself. So I need to get rid of this -21. Do so by adding 21 on both sides. And I'm left with 6x is equal to 36. And divide by 6 on both sides. X is equal to 6. Again, we want to write this as an ordered pair. We already know our y value, so it's going to be x is 6, y is -3. There we go. All right, moving on to the back page here. So numbers 9 and 10 are a little trickier. They've got y solved for 2 different ways. So what you can do, if you recognize that y is equal to this, you can just replace it down for this y and write it out as 5x plus 13 is equal to -6 minus, or -6x minus 9. Or you can do it the opposite way. We have the second equation says y is equal to -6x minus 9. So we could take this and plug it in for this y. It doesn't matter, the same thing. So it'll pretty much give you the same answer. Not pretty much, it will give you the same answer, but it doesn't really matter which side you have either expression on. All right, so now we have an equation with variables on both sides. So I always say you want to get rid of the variable that has the smaller of the two coefficients. So we have the coefficients of -6 and +5. Coefficient is just the number in front of the variable. So I want to get rid of the smaller. That would be the -6. So I'm going to go ahead and add 6 x's on both sides. This side cancels out. Get -9 is equal to 11x plus 13. And now I want to isolate the 11x, so I'm going to subtract 13 over here. Do it to one side, got to do it to the other. And we're left with -22 is equal to 11x. Divide by 11 on both sides. X is equal to -2. And now it definitely doesn't matter for this one. Just pick a problem. I would say, I guess, because the bottom has negatives, it'd probably be easier to just use the top equation. So y is equal to 5 times -2 plus 13. And simplify. 5 times -2 is -10 plus 13. Y is equal to 3. So last step, just write it as an ordered pair. X is -2, y is 3, and there you go. All right, 11 and 12, pretty similar. Last 4, we don't have a variable, or sorry, we don't have a variable solved for. But they should be all pretty similar and pretty quick and easy to solve, because in each one of these examples we have one variable that has a coefficient of 1. So that's the variable that we want to isolate. So for this one I want to isolate y. Same for 14, 15 I'm going to want to do x. And let me show you what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to rewrite this top equation. -3x plus y is equal to 16. And I want to get the y by itself. I'm going to solve for y. So I want to get rid of the -3x. So I'm going to add 3x on both sides. All right, on the left side, it'll cancel out, and I'll just have y on the left side. 16 and 3x are not like terms, so I'm just going to write them separately. And there we go. Now we have a problem just like we had the last, 12 other problems where the variable, or one of the variables, is solved for. So now I'm going to take this expression and plug it in to the bottom. I'm going to do 5x minus 6 times y, but I'm going to write not y. I'm going to do this expression that's equivalent to it. And now you can go ahead and solve from there. So I think you guys can take it from here. 14, 15, and 16, you're going to have to do this step that I did up here. Just remember, you want to isolate the variable with the coefficient of 1. All right, hopefully this video was helpful. If you still are lost, you can have your advisor give me a call and I'll come down to your classroom, or you can join me on my Google Meet. All right, good luck.